A young woman was on her way to a job interview. As she walked down the road, she suddenly noticed some money lying on the ground. She looked around, picked up the money, and quietly put it in her pocket. Then she continued walking toward the interview location. Nearby, a young man who looked like an ordinary worker was sitting and watching everything. After the woman left, he removed part of his disguise. In reality, he was the owner of the company. He smiled slightly, took out another bundle of money, and placed it on the ground again. Then he continued pretending to work. A few minutes later, another man came walking down the road. He also saw the money on the ground. Without asking anyone, he quickly picked it up and left. The company owner watched him carefully. After that, he took more money from inside his hat and placed it on the ground once again. Soon, a third young man arrived. He noticed the money but did not pick it up. Instead, he walked over to the worker and politely asked, "Excuse me, are these your money?" The worker smiled and replied, "Yes, they are mine." The young man said, "Please be careful next time and take good care of your belongings." Then he continued on his way. Later, all three people arrived at the company for the interview. The young woman and the second man were already sitting there. When the third young man arrived, they looked at him and started making fun of him. One of them said, "You smell bad." They stood up, looked at his CV, and laughed at him. Then they said, "You will never get this job." The young man stayed calm and did not argue with them. A supervisor soon entered the room and asked, "Are you here for the interview?" Everyone replied, "Yes." The supervisor said, "Come with me." As they followed him, the young woman confidently said, "This job is definitely going to be ours." A few moments later, they entered the manager's office. The manager collected their documents and carefully looked through them. Then he asked an unexpected question. "Which one of you is honest?" The second man quickly answered, "I am honest." The young woman agreed and nodded her head. The manager looked at them and asked, "If you are honest, then why did you steal today?" Both of them looked shocked. The man replied, "We never stole anything." The manager calmly asked, "Then who picked up the money on the road today?" The man became nervous and asked, "How do you know about that?" The manager replied, "Because I was the person sitting there." As soon as they heard this, both the woman and the man became worried. The young woman quickly took the money out of her pocket and said, "Here, take your money back." The manager accepted the money and said, "Please leave." Angrily, the woman replied, "I don't need this job anyway." Then she left the office. Next, the second man took out the money and handed it over. He lowered his head and said, "I am sorry. I made a mistake." The manager took the money back, but still asked him to leave because the company. Finally, the third young man stepped forward. The manager smiled and said, "I am proud of you. You were the only person who chose honesty instead of taking the money." The young man could hardly believe what he was hearing. The manager said, "You are the right person for this job." Then he happily announced, "Congratulations, the job is yours." The young man was filled with joy and he said, "I can't believe it. Thank you so much." If you think the manager made the right decision, share your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories. Thank you for watching.